Hello, I'm Steve. Welcome to the Patio Heat channel, where we create visual concepts of infrared heating as well as tips for outdoor comfort. Our one-on-one customer support helps you make the best decisions for your application. We strive to earn your business. Visit our patioheat.com website for sales and more information. Now let's get heating. All right, so here we have this covered residential patio area, and basically we have a seating area here with a doorway that slides left to right, a window here, and then a fan located above the center of the patio seating area. Let's go right into the overall dimensions that I have here. So basically, I came up with this 26 feet on my own, just based off of some information I received. However, that might be a little bit different. That's okay. The depth here I have at 9'4.5" to the inside edge of the post, and then 9'10" to the outside of the edge of the post. We do have this beam here, I believe is a 10-inch tall beam. Looking at the slope here, you can see I just have it at 1 foot for 2 inches for every 1 foot on the slope itself. And we do have this this ledge over here that is at 9'8", and that matches up to the bottom edge of the sloped ceiling here. This is a 2 foot wide overhang here. And just to go through the table dimensions, they did give me certain dimensions. I have it at 7 foot wide by 3'7" depth, and then they said that it would be located approximately 2'6" away from this wall, as well as I centered it over this window area here, semi-centered, I should say. And so it might be left to right a little bit more than I'm showing here, but in any case, you can see here I have placed this fan centered at 15 feet 6 inches to the center, and then 10 foot 6 inches to this edge here to the center of the fan, and at from the inside wall here, depth at 4'3" and a 1/4 inch to the center of this fan. The fan dimension, or diameter I should say, is 3'6" in diameter, and I think that's about it for all the dimensions here for the most part. If there's anything I'm missing, let me know. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. So I have 3 different options. Now with the fan here, there's always a issue with regards to placement of the heater. Can you fit the heater in gaps and things of that nature? So sometimes you're going to have to move the fan and or move the heaters to accommodate for that location here, or item I should say. One option would be to take 2 of the the 6,000 watt units. These are CD 6024, 6,000 watt 240 volt, and place it so that it is in the center of the overall span. So you can see here I have a line here that I've used as a center point for that heater, and then with the CD 6,000 watt unit, you need to maintain 6 inches of clearance when pointed straight to the ground. So I'm maintaining my 6 inches from here to here, and then over here you'll have to either get a longer bracket and or possibly use a chain to support both sides, and that's easily done. But that would be the one way to make that connection. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn off these clearances for just 1 second and go ahead and just take a quick measurement from center to center so you can kind of see that information. So it's roughly 7 foot 2 inches from center to center. And then also let's go back to the diameter of the fan here. So I have that again 3'6" diameter, and what we need to do is make sure we maintain a clearance below the heater at 18 inches. So from this edge here to that diameter, I have that at 18 inches from those 2 points. The same is true on this side here, from this left hand side of the heater to the right side of that diameter of the fan, I have at 18 inches. So it's very important that you maintain a level installation on the heater itself, because you don't want the elements inside here. There's nichrome wire in here, and that will start to slide downhill if you do have it at a angle, and that will destroy the elements. So you don't want that. You want to make sure that your heater is at a good level position. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat on these two heaters, and let me take off those dimensions here. So with that distance apart from each other, you can see here 6,000 watt units, which are a little bit heavier or hotter than I would probably recommend for this installation height. But you can see that we get a fairly decent coverage here. You can see I pulled this chair out here just because the dimensions of the table is one thing. We want to make sure that we're heating the spaces on the outside edge of that table so that we're actually heating the occupant space. I also pulled this chair out here as well, so you can see that that would cover this space here fairly decently. We are missing a little bit here in the center, but that there will be rays that stretch out here on the left and right side here. They're just not the ideal amount of heat that you're going to be wanting when you're actually in the ray. So, but when you have two rays that are crossing over like that, you may feel a little bit more comfortable there. Also, with a 6,000 watt unit, definitely you will need a control system for that. This, I believe, is in a colder climate, so you want to make sure that you have this controlled at some point using a duplex switch, meaning that you can turn one element on, one element off. May or may not be sufficient for the application, so I'd probably recommend, if you're going to use 6,000 watt units, to go ahead with a control system. Otherwise, consider using the 4,000 watt units. So let's go ahead and turn that off and look at another option. Another option would be to place the unit something like this. Now there is going to be one issue, is the fan itself. So you would have to either remove the fan or come up with a smaller fan. But basically what I've done here is I've taken one 6,000 watt unit, which is probably a good decent height for this application on the left here. And I placed it so that it is 18 inches from the edge of the wall. And then you can see here we are in trouble with regards to clearances on this fan. That's why I'm saying you'd probably have to remove that fan. You can see that we're well into the clearance zone there, and so that would not work. And that is true on the heater on the right side as well. So again, you know, we would have to remove this heater, or excuse me, remove the fan for this to be acceptable. So let's go ahead and turn that off for a second. And you can see over here, 18 inches from this edge. And why did I do that? Because I want to make sure that the heaters are flat. Once I take this heater and change the angle of the heater itself, then I need to maintain 12 inches of clearance above the heater. And if I maintain that, then the heater is going to drop down an additional 6 inches from where it's at, and the intensity is going to be a lot more than you would hope for. You can see here, this is truly made for a higher installation height. Here, it's not so bad, but over here it is. Also, another note is just the fact that, you know, we are penetrating that glass quite a bit, so there is a potential for expansion and contraction down here unevenly throughout this pane of glass, so that might also be an issue where that glass does break. So this is not my preferred application. I just want to show how this looks. So let's go ahead and turn that off. And also I should mention here, you can see that we're not really covering this space here, and this space over here would be not covered as well either. So bear that in mind if this is how you're hoping to place the units. Also, if you place it over here, not only will it require an angle of a maximum of 45 degrees rather, it would also require a 12-inch clearance, which this I believe is this 10 and a half inches, something of that nature. So it would have to come below this. That's why I'm not choosing that location either. All right, so let's go ahead and turn that off and turn this option off completely and look at the final option, which would be to place 4 units. And I'm going to have to pull this all back, get that fan back in here. There we go. And let's go ahead and turn these things off again and look at that third option. Again, placing 4 units. These are 4,000 watt units, 240 volts. And it's the same setup where we have to make sure that we're meeting the clearances to combustibles and things of that nature. You can see here I have it at a slight angle. I'm copying the angle of the ceiling itself. However, you'd probably have to change the, I'm just showing you how the bracket here actually would fit, but you would have to change the angle of the heater itself so that it's meeting the proper clearances, which is, let's go ahead and get that done here just as an example. And let's see if I can grab that. Sorry about the delay here. There we go. And we'll go down. It's approximately 9 degrees there. So that would be the true angle of the heater, roughly. And again, we still have to worry about the clearances of the fans, but I want to show you something a little bit different here. So clearance below, and just put back the diameter of the fan here. You can see that now I'm able, because we're not using a single element or a single unit here, I got one on the left, one on the right, then we are able to bring this in a little bit closer because we're no longer right in the same path of the fan as the other two were. So just bear that in mind. And I think that's about it. As far as the distance from each other, let's go ahead and take a quick look at that. And let me turn that off and go back to here to here. So you can see we're at 8 foot 4 inches center to center on the heater, and again 18 inches from the left, 18 inches from the right, and we are meeting the clearances with regards to the fan location. Now I brought them in much closer than as close as I could, I should say, to the fan here. So when you see the coverage of the footprint of heat, I'm going to turn that on. You can see that we're still a little bit shy of meeting what we really would like to meet here. And that's why the original 2 units would heat up this space probably the best and be the best option. Now these are 4,000 watt units. They're a little bit shorter, as you can see here. I believe those are 39 inches, where the others are 61.25, I believe. But the footprint of heat is a little bit tighter and a little bit hotter. So again, you would want to make sure you use a control system on something like this. But being that they are single elements, so that would be 2,000 watts a piece. You could use a duplex switch where you're turning this one on, and then maybe the 2 over here on, and maybe the 2 on here on, and then the 2 over here, maybe just one of those on. So it gives you a little bit of flexibility, but I would highly recommend a control system if you're really wanting to make this a very comfortable application. So let's go ahead and go back to my preferred, which is the 2 6,000 watt units with a control system on it. If you choose not to use a control, again, you would want to use a 4,000 watt unit, and you do not want to use the short one because you won't get the full coverage on the left to right here. So, all right, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you would like us to review your plans, please send your information into designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve, and please tap that like button. We don't advertise. We're not monetized. YouTube does not promote our channel in any way unless we receive thumbs up from our viewers. And if this has helped you, please do that. Thank you very much. Have an excellent day.